Don't invest in the stock market. Wait, what? Don't you need to invest to build wealth? Absolutely. But before you invest, you must avoid setting your financial house on fire. I'm going to let Dave Ramsey explain what I mean by this.
You're not going on vacation. You're in debt. You're broke. There's a great place to go when you're broke, to work. And you bust your butt, and it's scorched earth, no lifestyle, no nothing. You sell so much stuff the kids think they're next. You name the dog eBay and the cat Craigslist. Everything's going out the door. We're getting this mess cleaned up.
In this video, I'm going to really break it down for you and tell you why you must handle your debt even before you invest. Now, take it easy. If you're already in debt, I'm going to tell you the best way that I know of to get rid of it. Okay, let's jump in. If you're up to your eyeballs in debt, you have three options. Number one, pay it off scorched earth like Uncle Dave suggests, and don't invest a penny until it's all paid off. Number two, just pay the minimum due on your debt and invest the rest. And number three, do something in between. Invest a little. After that, use any extra cash to pay more than the minimum on your debt. Of course, there is a fourth option, which is to ignore your debt altogether, but we're not going to do that, right? Before I tell you what I would do, here's one key assumption. You have a stable source of income that allows you to pay your bills. No income, no bueno. Let's break this down with a simple example. You have $10,000 worth of credit card debt and the interest rate is 20%. Your rich uncle kicks the bucket and leaves you $10,000 in his will. You have the choice to either invest that $10,000 in the stock market while continuing to pay the minimum on your credit card debt, or pay off the entire debt in one shot. Which would you choose? Let's look at the numbers after 10 years. Why 10 years? Because that's about how long it will take to pay off your debt if you only pay the minimum. If you choose to invest the $10,000 in the stock market, the good news is stock market returns have averaged between 7 and 10% annually over the last 100 years. So your $10,000 has now doubled to $20,000. You've made $10,000 in the stock market. The bad news is the interest payment on your debt was almost $12,000. So your $10,000 loan turned out to be close to $22,000. Simple math. You're up $10,000 from your stock market investment, but you're down almost $12,000 in interest payments to the credit card company. If instead you take that $10,000 and pay off your debt in one shot, guess how much interest you paid? Zero. Your $10,000 loan was $10,000. Now that you're debt-free, you can start investing your excess cash. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Bottom line, as long as stock market returns are less than the interest on your debt, the math doesn't work. Dollar for dollar, you won't make enough money in the stock market to make up for the interest you're paying. Pay off the debt first and invest as soon as you can after that. To be clear, I'm talking about high interest rate debt, which I would consider to be above 5 or 6%. I'm putting mortgages or loans to buy a house in a separate bucket. So here's what I would do if I had debt. First, I'd eliminate all non-essential spending. You want to free up as much money as possible to deal with the debt.
We're getting this mess cleaned up.
Next, I'd make a list of all debt and rank it by interest rate. A simple rule of thumb is to consider interest rates above 5% to be the highest priority. These loans must be paid off ahead of schedule ASAP. I would not be investing until all my high interest debt was paid off. If the interest rate is between 3 and 5%, I'd give myself the flexibility to either pay it off ahead of schedule or just make the minimum payments. For loans with interest rates below 3%, I'd just pay the minimum and use any extra cash to invest. The overall strategy is to pay the minimum required for all debt and route any extra cash to the loan that has the highest interest rate, and continue to work my way down until all my high interest debt was paid off. Here's what I would not do. I would not pay a credit counseling or debt consolidation service. It would only add to my costs. These services won't have any magic formulas to help. You can do this. This last one is a bit tricky, but here goes. I would not pay off low interest debt first for psychological comfort. I get it. Knocking out the low interest debt is better than continuing to pay the minimum. But the longer we have high interest debt, the longer we'll have to wait to start our journey to building real wealth. Just my 2 cents. You got this.